the defeat to Morocco last night in the AFCON 2025 tournament. Was a draw after extra time, but on penalties, the Super Eagles weren't super, and there's be always you expect conversations about that. Later on, you probably get more details when Kosi and the rest of the sport gang try to understand what happened. Also, Arsenal defeated their London rivals Chelsea in the very first round, sorry, the first leg of the Carabao, that's EFL Cup semi-finals as well. So February 3rd, you have the second leg. Let's see if Mikel Arteta and his wards can stave off a rejuvenated, what apparently looks like a rejuvenated Chelsea side under Rosenell. But now, let's talk a little bit about our true colors. Let's talk about a very obvious and sadly not too much discussed and frowned upon aspect of the Nigerian system, particularly the Nigerian corruption system. Now, what I'm about to talk about isn't quote unquote officially a crime, neither is it seen as something that is bad. However, it is the things that happen around it that make it bad, or that gives it that quote unquote corrupt demeanor or demure. All right, it is file pushing. This morning, our first conversation is file pushers. Hold up, who or what is a file pusher? Now, before I tell you what or who that person is or who they are, let me first say this to you. You might be one, or you may fall into the category, and you may think you are not bad, but take a listen to this.
Anyone who thinks they are the pure ones. Be careful around anyone who thinks that their tribe, their people, are the righteous ones. Because as Bertrand Russell once argued, anyone who is willing to divide the world into the righteous and the unrighteous are just a small push away from some terrible brutality. According to Russell, when we divide the world into pure and impure saints and sinners, we are simply creating an elaborate system of ethics where the herd justifies itself in wreaking punishment upon things it dislikes. When you simply disagree with someone, you probably treat them with respect, and if you have a problem with your neighbour, you usually settle it peacefully. But if somebody labels their neighbour as a monster or their rivals as subhuman, they usually do so because they want to inflict punishment and pain upon them. They create an outlet for their sadism and mask cruelty as justice. Russell argues that this is one of the biggest problems with certain kinds of religion, because any religion that divides the world into a chosen, God-loved people, and then those who
For you, but as a sinner to the next person. You see, for you, but as a sinner to the next person. You see, the file pusher is almost Nigeria. They are at our banking halls. They are at our schools. They are at our churches. They are, sadly, in our companies and in the courts. You see, the file pusher is the secretary. The file pusher is the clerk. The file pusher is the messenger. The file pusher is the boy. The file pusher is the PA to the SA to the governor. The file pusher is the best friend to the best friend to the cousin of the best friend of the GO of that church. The file pusher is the special friend, the wali to the imam of that mosque. You see, the file pusher is the person who tells you that your file there, he never go to office. And so you slip the person 100,000 naira to move your file, to move your document, to move your bid. Now, this has gone on for so long in this country that those who are occupying those positions have now deemed it their right. You want to get married, you go to the registry, you bring all the documents it says online, and then the lady who accepts your document says malts. There are plenty files here. If I can just put you on top. And then we have so gotten to the point where in our places of worship, particularly in churches, you hear people give testimonies and say they had dreams where their fire that was on top, somebody removed it and placed it under, so that when the governor comes and the governor is meant to sign, he doesn't see your file. Now, don't get me wrong, these things do happen. But like I said, when we separate and we say, oh, this one is bad and that one is good and favors us, are we any different from those who we accuse? So, to the question, should file pushers, should they be punished in Nigeria? Because, like I said, it's not officially a crime, or is it now? 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0007, 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. At Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and X. At Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. The WhatsApp number is 0809-030-6416. And let me advise that that number can also receive SMSs as well. File pushers. Who are they? What are they? Hopefully we've answered those questions. But more importantly, should they be punished? 92.3. Hello, Port Harcourt. Good morning to you.
Mr. Zion from Port Harcourt, good morning to you.
Good morning, please.
Yes, they should be punished. And also abrogate POS from every government parastatals and ministries. Did you hear what I said?
We'll listen to you.
File pushing is a show of shame that this is a country that rewards crime and criminality, that benefit from criminal enterprise. File pushing. Oh, my file is for legal. Make I go for legal. When you go to legal, they say, no, we have returned it to procurement. You went to procurement will tell you that, no, we'll just send it to finance. My brother, you see this triangle I just mentioned? You have spent nothing less than 100,000 if you're a newcomer in that environment. 100,000 have gone. Either they don't see your fire, or they specially asked you to pay for it. Let's be honest. Should we be looking for our fires like this? In the present day Nigeria, that a lot of us claim to be Christians or religious. If you are not in the church, you are in the mosque or in the traditional worship. And I stand to be corrected. This triangle I just mentioned don't like corruption. They don't. For the foundation, Mr. Jude.
Yes, please.
By the grace of God, I work in such environment, and when I see these things, I shed tears. And I want to put it to you, sooner or later, some people with conscience will so retire, and they will be joining us in your conversations like this, and they will expose a lot to us. How corrupt this. In fact, if you want to make mention, is there a country called Nigeria? If you should x-ray it, no, sir. I use the word x-ray. This pushing of fire have given birth to corruption in this country.
But some hold on, Mr. Zai, before I let you go. Now, you say that they should be punished, and you say that all the aspects you mentioned, POS who facilitate such file pushing should also be removed from federal parastatals. But now the question is, what if somebody pushes your file without asking for money? The person just likes Mr. Zion's face. This Mr. Zion, you know they work hard. Favor never reach out. Make a make her remove the file when they up. Make her put your own on top.
It is not only one person that pushes your file. Not one person. I made mention of triangle. I did not mention the other triangle. This is the first triangle: the procurement, the legal, and the finance.
Okay.
There is another stage you will go to again, which is the critical. I will not mention.
Let's go on the break, Zion. Seen the alleged crime, and we've held the accused. And so I think the best thing for us is to, prosecute. Yeah, you want to write your statement, please write your statement, and let's go to court. Right? Let's push to the court. All right, and then you agree. Oh, I want to go to court. This man slapped me. This man was doing this. This man was doing that. And then after the initial hearing, after the initial submission of the cases, on the day the judge says, you know what, let's sit, and hear your case. You get there, and what you hear is the clerk says we cannot find the case file. Now, to show you how disturbing this is, ladies and gentlemen, we've had this scenario I just reeled out to you, particularly the last bit, where the clerk says, oh, they can't find the case file. It has happened at the lower courts, magistrate level, the state high court, the federal high courts in this country. Now, the question that always gets running through my mind, right, whenever I'm watching the news or I'm reading the stories, I will hear lawyers give, or they're recounting their experience in court on certain cases, is this: was the initial case filed, right? Did the clerk, did the court clerk, did he, mean that I received it? And more often than not, what I hear is yes. So if the person minutes it and you obviously you take a true certified true copy, how does it get missing? And so you now hear, oh, we'll adjourn, till the 15th of July, and all parties involved, will come through, and then we can deliberate on this case. And then first time I heard this was about 15 years ago. State High Court. I was going to swear an affidavit about my driver's license that, obviously got missing, right? I had paid for a new one. The new one, I had been given, what do you call it, the temporary driver's license. And then the card was not ready. So in order not to have to explain who my father is or who my uncle is in this country, as I was planning on taking a journey down to the West, I genuinely went to the court to say, please, can I swear an affidavit that this thing is this thing is that? And then the person beside me was saying, madam, sure you don't go to this place. And you give the man something. I picked my ears. This was way before I became a broadcast journalist. I was curious. I picked my ears. Like, what's going on? What do you mean? Say, give us something. See that now these people, now they carry the file, go upstairs. That has not left my memory in all these years. The clerks are paid to do a job. Why do I need to give them tips or whatever for doing their jobs? And yes, maybe there are human errors. Some people say, say they carry plenty of file. What if he carry the file? Maybe he fall. He can't rearrange them. And as your own be day up, you can't day down. No problem. Before the judge comes there, you give us something. Give us something. Ladies and gentlemen, that's where we are with file pushers in this country. So what say you? Should they be punished? Or, like someone said, look, putting the file up, down isn't really a crime, because first and foremost, the person is dealing with a bulk of files, a bulk of documents. Case in point, if you ever have gone through your verification process at the University of Port Harcourt or Ignatius Ajuru or RSU or UniBen, hey! If you've ever tried to do your school clearance in UniBen or your verification in UniBen, you would know that these people go through a lot of case files. Even those who are using the computer, they have to come verify document as the bank send the draft. Have we seen it? Have we confirmed it? Blah, 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 left, right, and center. So sometimes some people give some extra tips so that your file can be pushed.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
Stimulating and insightful conversations. Hello, Port Harcourt. 92.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
017-923-0007 0817-923-0003 0817-923-0007 0817-923-0003 at Nigeria Info PH at Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook, also available on X, same handle at Nigeria Info PH at Nigeria Info PH. Now, you can send us a message, right? If you listen to us on your radio or you're driving right now and you want to send us an SMS, we would love to get to have you join the conversation this morning. The number is 0809 030 6416. 0809 030 6416. Right? And that number is good on WhatsApp as well. Let me make sure that we are pushing files. Some people accuse us of, we don't read my message. What you are always taking calls from this. Well, once again, let me explain. We don't see numbers. All right, all I see is lights. For those of you who have been to the studio before, we just see calling, caller 1, caller 2, caller 3. So I don't know. So it's not like anybody's pushing any extra file to get on the show. You have equal chances, please. I would like to encourage you to call. All right, once again, 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. All right, WhatsApp is 0809-030-6416, 0809-030-6416. All right, Miss K here says, Jude, good morning. I don't think there's anything really wrong with file pushing. Let's be honest, Jude. When you were getting your job, didn't somebody speak on your behalf? Didn't somebody help you get to one place or the other? Whether you gave money or not, the person facilitated that particular move that led to where you are today. So I do not think it is a crime. Unfortunately, though, there are some people who will victimize others for not helping. So that's where I have a problem. Well, in case you've never heard, Miss K, I did the interview for this job 4 times. I dropped my voice to reading news and presenting the program at least 6 times. I understudied for about 3 years before I was granted the opportunity to sit there inside the studio for an hour. So no, nobody pushed my file. 9.3, good morning.
Good morning, dude.
Good morning, please. Welcome.
Yeah, my name is John. I'm calling from Omamegbe.
Welcome, John. Have they pushed your file? Have you given somebody something to help push your file?
If I have ever done that, that should be during my final clearance. Clearance, yeah. Because we are going for NYC and we had about 4 days for the call-up letter to come out. So everybody, you have about 1,000 students, everybody struggling. So I think the thing I did was to get the money 4 times. That's I have to call my dad brother who works with NCC, who sent the man airtime. No, I think that was the only time. But in Nigeria, we have this culture of not being patient. Let me tell you a story. We went to one airport at Kigali. We are standing on the queue. But one of my friends, who is always notorious in bypassing and boycotting protocol, went to where we are submitting our passport.
Okay.
To see how you will be able to break that line. The guy that was seated on that plane, look at him as a moron.
Oh, wow.
He advised himself to go back and stand on the queue. Yes. But if it is Nigeria here, that person will collect 1,000, 2,000, and abandon the brother person that's standing on the queue, trying to do the right thing, and collect and pass that one. The person will go. So it's a cultural thing. It's not about.
Is it really cultural, John? Is it really cultural?
It goes to ministries now. It's a cultural thing, dude. But those things, let me tell you, when you want to define gross misconduct, for a desk officer who carries somebody's file that have been in the desk waiting for approval for 3 weeks and put under and collect money, or because you like that person's face, or because that person is a brother to your friend, or a brother to your sister, or a girlfriend to whatever. That is, I carry the person's file. So people talk the ones that have been there for 2-3 weeks. Gross misconduct. You understand?
So should they be punished?
And it's punishable.
Okay.
To be punished. So that. Where is the place of morality
should be punished.
But you know, in your assertion, John, there's a line I was waiting for you to make mention so I can circle it. What if the person just likes your face? What if the person just says, this person, he don't try, make I help him? Hello, John. Oh dear. Hello. Oh, okay. Now, back in 2012, I believe, 2012 or 2013, this friend of mine was facing one of the worst experiences any student in this country would ever face, which is the deadline for school fees payment. In universities, in some universities, right, if you hadn't paid your school fees, you couldn't complete your verification or your registration for that semester, for that session, right, so that you can sit for your examination. How many of you have experienced that? So, as things panned out, you know, she had done everything, medicals, she had paid for everything. She just hadn't paid for school fees. So calls back and forth to mommy, to daddy. See, they will soon close this thing. If they close this thing, I will not be able to write my examination. And so 2 days, ladies and gentlemen, 2 days, right, before the portal was to be closed, this fellow took all the documents, because it was a day for her department. You know, in order to manage the crowd, they asked different departments to come on different days. And this person said, you know what, I'm just going to go, right? Since I've paid school fees before, I would beg, even though they know that, you know, begging will not help anything. So this person goes to the admin building, to clearance and everything. And because of the volume, she could see the number of files and number of people, upwards of about 300 or 400 on that day, right, that were waiting. When it got to the person's turn, the lady on the table just took the file. You know, those days when we were in school, we used to carry all our things, to arrange them in file, rubber folders, we present all. And she just opened it, looked at it. Oh, passport is there, this person has signed. And then she took the stamp, put it on the pad, and then, boom, stamped on her documents that she had been cleared. She was just looking. She knew she hadn't paid school fees. She was about to open her mouth. And then the lady just stopped. As she removed the file, put it back, and opened it and said, you haven't paid your school fees? Oh my God. Why didn't you tell me? Look at what you have made me do now. What do this thing, this is. And she said, Auntie, please. They are sending me the money today. Network. This problem. And she said, look, I've stamped on it. You are lucky. You will enter the exam hall. But if they check, because obviously you have systems of checks and balances, and it's not there, not only will they, you know, bring you out and, you know, probably block your result, they would also sanction me. So please, make sure you pay your school fees. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let us assume, in this story I just shared with you, the school fees was paid and everything went well. Do you think that student should go and give something to that admin officer? Thank you for giving me this favor. Do you think so? 017-923-0002. 0817-923-0003. Bright from Igbodo Eche says, good morning, Nigerian Info. It is not bad if you tip someone who helped you or who is in a position to assist you. Where it is bad is if the person imposes it on you that you must do it. A lady saw me in UOE Ajuru and assisted me in pushing my file without knowing me. Now, after that, I collected her number and as well gave her small thing. I don't think such appreciation is wrong. Bright from Eche. She liked the face. But what if this file pusher did it in the hope that you would give small thing? That's another angle. What if it is done in anticipation of your reciprocity? Oh, I've helped this person. This person should suppose. Patrick from Gokana says such people should be given compulsory retirement. Straight, compulsory. Remove them. This one says, Jude, good morning. See, if we are honest, all of us in this country had one point in other giving something for somebody to push our files, whether it is for somebody not to be arrested, or for us to be released, or for somebody to speak on behalf of our son or our daughter. Even in the hospitals, Jude, there are special patients that come that seemingly get across without going through the same process normal people do. Do we arrest all of them? Now that's a very difficult. Okay, I'm not in the hospital, but let me say something about the hospital. There are emergency cases, and as the name implies, if someone has an RTA, that's road traffic accident, or someone is convulsing, or someone has just experienced a heart attack or pulmonary embolism or something, and everybody's rushing the person. Common sense, I believe, would dictate that, or let me say common sense. I think the medical protocol dictates that person who needs urgent care should be prioritized. So, yes, maybe you have been on the line for 20 minutes or whatever, you're going to the doctor, but this person is knocking at the doors of death. Maybe on that, basis, you could say, okay, yes, this is where we should, let this person pass. But like I said, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know anything. What do I know, really? 017-923-0002, 0817923-0003, 0817923-0002, 0817923-0003. At Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X at Nigeria Info PH. So you find us on Facebook and on X. All right, callers. File pushes is our conversation this morning. Punishment, or it's okay. Like someone said, it's not a bad thing to give somebody something who helped you. It's not the air push of fire. Even not for that person. But my question really is, whether or not you give the person, is the person's job to, quote unquote, move such documents from where they are, from the point of submission to the point of deliberation. It's their job. Let me say it again. Isn't it okay? Like the example I gave about people who go to schools, or even if you're listening, you call member and you're trying to do your clearance. Whether or not you give anybody anything, right? So long as you are in that locale and you're meant to submit your file, they're meant to clear you, it must be done. So why then do you need to give anything to a file pusher? Now, so says appreciation done willingly is not wrong, because there is this saying that one good turn deserves another. Queen from Ugrita says, it's a story, such an interesting story there, Jude. In such situations, I don't think it is wrong, especially as the person that assisted did not demand for it. It is called a show of gratitude. But where a demand is made in order to facilitate your request, that's when the problem is. Now, sometimes it is very okay to appreciate people for their help and kindness. Not that they are entitled to it, because truthfully, they are just doing their jobs. But it is a way of saying thank you for your service. And it should be done at the giver's discretion. Queen, with that comment. If that's the case, then we should all give, at our discretion anyway. We should give the warders, the traffic warders, at least maybe once or twice a week or a month, whenever you pass. We should give them something. So show of appreciation. They've done well. They've made sure that the traffic was free and flowing. We should. We should give some of the policemen who stand under the hot sun, 12 noon, 1, 2, 3, checking to make sure, last chance or one chance people are caught, or people are trying to kidnap and smuggle goods. Yeah, you should stop and say, hey, take this. We should. I'm not saying you must, but I'm just saying you should. If I'm to go with Queen's flow here, all right, that's all I'm saying. All right, Mecca here says, Jude, good morning. Most of these people will not admit, but you see, a lot of people in government buildings are the worst set of people you can do things with. Everybody is a file pusher, Jude. Whether you have submitted your file to the main person or you're just coming in for screening, everybody wants something so that they can do their job. We have become so corrupt that we see it as part of the process. I do not believe I need to give you anything to do your job. I shouldn't say thank you for your job. It is your job after all. Maybe if you do it exceptionally well, but most of them, no. Emeka. Maybe if you do your job exceptionally well, Emeka would say thank you, but, nothing, yeah. There's no point. There's no point. But getting to see some people's true colors this morning. 0809-030-6416, 0809-030-6416. That number is also good for SMSs. I read one here. Jude, good morning. Some of our parents are the file pushers you're talking about. So how would you feel if some of them were to lose their job? It's just the way the country is. The salaries are not enough. And so in order to make ends meet, some of these people take advantage of the good in their office. For me, if anybody gives me something for doing my job a bit better, why won't I take it? You think it's easy? Try. He has a point, though. Some of our parents are the ones who are the file pushers. Yeah. I would leave you to, I don't know if you have a conscience, but yeah, I'll leave you to that notion this morning. If your mom or your dad is a file pusher, how do you feel about it? How does that reflect on the morals they have put in you, if at all they have? And once again, no judgment, only an honest question. My name is Jude. Take a break now. When we come back, we have Power Update. And since it's a Thursday, if you noticed, we started with Phil Collins' True Colors. It's a throwback. So we get to listen to songs from yesteryears. When we come back, we'll probably get to 2015. Yeah, look at the list that we have for 2015 and play something from there. And then another conversation at 11 a.m. My name is Jude Omamegbe. I didn't push anybody's file to read their message. Good morning.